I am honoured to welcome my next guest, political commentator June Slater from the UK Politics Uncovered, who was good enough to get up early for our show. June, welcome to my show.
Thank you for having me.
Look, we've been joking for a long time in the West that there is something wrong with politics and politicians. I mean, citizens trust their politicians about as much as a used car salesman. In fact, I wouldn't trust a politician to buy me a cup of coffee because they'd set up an entire bureaucracy to do it and then charge me several million dollars for like a skim latte or something. But I noticed that you made an excellent point in one of your recent tweets, and this is that so many serious problems that exist in our society are a creation of bad politics. Do you feel as if we're living in a sort of state of manufactured crisis?
Yeah, absolutely, because there are no water shortages and there are no food shortages. There's no land shortage. The trouble is, it's the wrong people that control it all. For instance, I mean, your Australian viewers, I'm sure a lot will be expats, will understand that we are a group of very small islands in the North Atlantic. It's damp and wet and miserable, especially in the north where I live. I mean, the rainfall, last night it rained heavily the whole day and the whole night. But we've got a growing population, literally by millions, and yet we never build any reservoirs. Now, I look at, say, somewhere like the Canaries, which has to rely on desalinated water for a lot of their use and drink bottled water, and they can survive. They don't have water shortages, and it's arid. Yet here we are in this damp group of islands. Scotland, you know, they've got waterproof deck chairs up there. So, you know, how come we haven't got reservoirs to save this glorious, free, basically the essence of life, water? How come the water authorities have CEOs on film star salaries, and yet we've got burst pipes that last for months, and we're tanking money out of these water companies? And I just think, if you look at that, that's just water. And then you look at energy. We used to have gasometers storing gas, so we'd have enough in the winter. They're all empty. We've got the wrong people focused on the wrong stuff. And I think Australia is in exactly the same boat. Our politicians are focused on being politicians, not doing the job. I'm just going to have to wipe my eye. It's running. I'm not getting upset.
Well, I'd understand you getting upset about having a water shortage in England, which is one of the wettest places compared to Australia. It's just crazy. But in Australia, we have an energy crisis. Our bills have doubled, and we've started to do load shedding because we don't have enough power to maintain consistency. Now, this is particularly extraordinary for us because per capita, we have more energy resources than anybody else in the world. I mean, we have enough uranium alone to keep us going beyond the life cycle of the sun, let alone adding coal, gas and oil to this. I mean, the UK is experiencing problems with food security as well, I believe, with all these new green regulations, and housing. Who would have thought the UK would have a housing crisis driven by migrants from the third world? You're nowhere near the third world.
What always amazes me is when we get these unknown migrants. I mean, we've literally got them hopping off dinghies, little rubber rib boats that are probably suitable for 6 people. There'll be 14, 15 people on them, and they beach them and they run off. The footage that you see sometimes on social media where the RNLI is picking them up in the sea, where the French section of the channel finishes. As well as all that, there's people beaching dinghies, and you know, it's very easy to stop this because all you need to do, just like it's difficult in the UK to get a shotgun license, they should make the purchase of dinghies and outboard motors with a license. You should have to have a license and prove why you want it. Either you're a water ski fan or you've got a business. And if they did that in France, but you see, what you've got to remember is France is still making us pay. France is the bitter ex-wife of the UK since Brexit. So they're making us pay for leaving. So we have to be seen. They don't want the migrants either. So everybody that crosses, it's less for them to have to keep. I mean, France is 5 times bigger than the UK with the same population. It could house these people a lot better than us. But unfortunately, what people don't realise about the UK, the benefit system that they get here is pretty similar to France. the big draw to the UK is easier to disappear. And so it's easier to get your mobile phone out, contact the people you're already in touch with in the UK, disappear, work on the black market, taxi. It's always cash businesses, takeaways, taxis, market stalls, so they can be paid cash. They can turn up at any GP surgery, pretend to be someone and get treatment. Every single service we have, from social services to the NHS, is absolutely at busting point. A woman that I know waited through lockdown to get a knee operation, crippled, in pain, can't walk properly, couldn't have it because it was considered elective surgery. As if you'd sit there electing, I think I'll have my knee done today. That's not elective surgery. You only go for stuff like that when you need it. But as you know, with lockdowns, it got cancelled. And now she's devastated to see there's 3 Eastern Europeans who have come over. They don't live here. The family lives here. They've come over and they're before her in the queue.
Of course.
Because all you need to get on that list is a mobile phone.